Nothing! Oh, $50? Okay.
You found something? I don't really found nothing.
Oh, we just ended 4 lives over $40 or $50? Oh man, we gotta check if there is any treasure as they told us. This guy Herbert didn't have any money in his house. Let me check.
There's nothing. What we're gonna do?
I don't know. We planned this robbery and murder like to get money. There was rumors that this guy Herbert Clutter had a fortune here, and we just found $50. What are we gonna do? Give me a plan to fuck off or just do something.
We have to escape. Oh my god.
I have an idea.
What?
We're right now in Kansas.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dallas or some state where police would not find us, or we're not gonna be like recognized as the principal, like responsibles for this event that occurred.
I think Las Vegas is a better option.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That will be a good.
Okay, let's head to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Let's have it. Ya lo cortamos.
The criminal identified as Perry have been captured for the murder of 6 people. His intention.
So, new reports say that the criminal wasn't called Perry. These other criminals called Smith and Hillock. He is Smith, and the other one that we captured before was Hillock. Okay, so the jury has talked and has made a decision, and the decision is the final death penalty for these 2 criminals.
Good evening, fellow watchers. Right now we're reporting from Kansas. A massacre. These are the remainings of the 6 people that were killed in Kansas. Between those people, we got Herbert Clutter, a respected farmer, his wife Bonnie, and their 2 children, Nancy and Canyon, that were tied up and shotgun in the head. There were no signs of robbery gone wrong. In fact, the killers only took around $50, so we don't have any proof why this kill was done. Who committed this atrocious and horrific crime? Well, we have 2 main suspects, Perry and Dick. Right now, we're investigating to see why these kills were made. Some of the rumors said that Miss Clutter kept a large safety field with cash in his house, believing they would find these thousands of dollars, but they were wrong. They couldn't find them. But there was no safe. They couldn't find any safe. In fact, after weeks of investigations, the police received a crucial tip that led them to the suspects, but they couldn't find the safe. Eventually, Perry and Dick were captured in Las Vegas. Fleeing across several states, both men confessed, but we're still in the looking. Hi.
Oh,
I'm
the
the
police.
official.
Oh, the police.
Police, how are you?
Yeah,
Fine.
I think you're both suspects.
Suspects of what?
Are you Perry? Are you Dick?
No?
No.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the murderers
Murders of who?
of Herbert Clutter. I know you are.
Who's that nigga?
I know you're the killers.
We are not killers of no one.
We're not
I
killers.
know. Let me speak with you. Or he.
Yo, he betrayed you. If I need to, would you give me something?
Yes.
What?
Last time in prison,
Yeah.
some money.
He was the idea. He killed them.
He killed them.
4 shots. He ended 6 people out.
What the fuck, bro?
Hey!
Yo!
Calm down.
Yo!
I know you're the killer.
No!
Tell
Fuck
me.
you, motherfucker!
Tell me, did he kill anyone?
Yeah, he killed
I'm
always.
going to the mierda.
He killed?
Yeah,
Who
he
killed?
killed. He
You
killed always.
killed?
Motherfucker.
Cara, qual que é?
É pior que eu sabia.
No grabé. Okay. What did you do?
I'm gonna not confess anything.
You must confess.
Did my partner confess?
Yes, he told me everything.
Fuck!
But I need to corroborate the version. So
Okay.
tell me what you did.
We killed 6 people. It were.
How?
It was 4 shots.
Who did
That
you
was all.
kill?
It was a family. It was a farmer, I think so. It was like called Herbert Clark, I think.
Okay. What were you looking for?
First of all, we was looking for money, but they don't have anything, so they catch us looking for something. So we have to kill them. It's all I wanna talk about.
Okay. What's your real name?
Perry. I don't think. 3.
Okay. What did you do?
Nothing. What you talking about?
You must tell me. Your partner will snitch.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
he told
so
me everything.
I'm gonna snitch on that motherfucker.
Okay.
Okay,
What did
so
you
he killed 4 people. No, 6 people with 4 shots. 1 shot like passed through the heads of 2 people in a row. It was horrible, but it was all his fault. Herbert Clutter was a really rich farmer, and we thought we were gonna get a really good bounty under his head, but it was not like that. So we only found $40 in his house, and it was everything that happened. I promise.
So Dick was the only one who killed people?
Yeah, that's what's the only one who killed people.
So you were
I'm
only
telling the
standing
truth.
there?
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm just gonna go.
The night was cold, dampened by the steady, miserable
The night
rain
was
that
cold,
turned the grounds
dampened
of the
by
Kansas State
steady,
Penitentiary into
miserable
a great
rain
blue.
that turned the grounds of
Inside
the
a small
Kansas State
warehouse,
Penitentiary into a
building
great blur.
known as the Corner. A crowd had gathered. They weren't there for a spectacle. They were there for a technicality. The law was finally catching up to a road that started in Holcomb 5 years prior. The door opened, and Dick Hickok was let in. He didn't look like the mastermind or the cold-blooded killer the papers had painted. He looked small. He walked with a slight limp, his lopsided face tightened by the fluorescent lights. He climbed the wooden stairs, 13 of them, with a strange, practiced composure. When asked if he had any last words, he shook hands with the 4 detectives who had hunted him down. "I just want to say I hold no hard feelings," he whispered. "You people are sending me to a better world than this ever was." The black hood was pulled over his head, the noose was adjusted. Then the trapdoor snapped. The sound was like a pistol shot in a cavern. For 20 minutes, the doctors waited for his heart to stop. Then came Perry. If Dick was resigned, Perry was haunted. He looked like a child sitting on the edge of a bed, his stunned legs dangling as he waited for the end. He chewed a piece of gum rhythmically, his eyes searching the room for a friendly face, perhaps finding only the ghosts of the man he used to be. He reached the top of the gallows. He didn't have Dick's bravado. He looked at the crowd and said, "I think it's a hell of a thing to take a life in this manner. I don't believe in capital punishment morally or legally." He paused, then added a soft final grace note. "Maybe I had something to contribute." The hood descended. The gun was still in his mouth. The fall dropped. By 2:13 a.m., it was over. The rain continued to fall outside, washing the pavement but doing nothing to clear the heavy air inside the warehouse. The witnesses filed out into the darkness, climbing into their cars and driving back to lives that would never quite feel as safe as they did before the Clores died. In the end, it wasn't a moment of triumph for justice. It was a quiet, mechanical ending to a very loud tragedy.
Let's be clear. They weren't insane. They didn't think clutters were demons. They knew they were people with a safe They drove 1,400 miles to get there. That is a plan. Under the Magnatin rule, you know it's a crime. You're saying, end of the story.
But that's a 19th century rule for a 20th century tragedy. Perry Smith wasn't planning a murder. He was chasing a fantasy. When he stood over Herbert Clutter, he wasn't seeing a farmer. He was seeing a person. Whoever heard him, it was a brain snap. How is it fair to execute a man for a mental explosion he couldn't control?
The jury and the town. They had a jury on their peers, 12 honest Kansas men. That is the cornerstone over the justice system. The evidence was overwhelming. They confessed. What more do you want?
Peers, the jury was made of the Clutter friends and neighbors. You can have a fair trial in a graveyard. The town wanted a hanging before the trial even started. It wasn't a search for the truth. It was a ritual of revenge and make Holcomb feel safe again.
Everyone has a hard life, but not everyone picks up a shotgun. Dick Hickhold had a loving family. She still chose to hunt that house down. Perry had a choice at every mile that highway to turn the car around. At some point, we have to stop blaming childhood and start blaming the man holding the life.
Perry was building without a foundation, abandoned by his mother, beaten in orphanages, treated like an animal by his father. Society broke him, and then society was shocked when he acted rogue. It is fair for the state to kill a man they helped to create.
So now, we're gonna get to the final verdict. The death penalty was the only proportional response, for innocent people were slaughtered in their bonds. The law requires a balance, their lives for the lives they stole. That's the definition of fair.
It was balance. It was just more blood. Truman Capote showed us Perry Smith has his soul. No, ya acordalo. Look at the facts, not the feelings. They judge give us the instructions. 1. Did they ever enter to the house? Yes. 2. Did they kill the family? Yes. 3. Did they know it was against the law? They fly to Mexico. Of course they knew. That's a guilty verdict for both. While we're still sitting here?
Because I can't stop thinking about what that doctor tried to say before the prosecution shut him down. Perry Smith isn't a normal killer. He's a man who's been stepped on his whole life until he finally exploded. If a boiler explodes because it was built wrong, do you blame the steam or do you blame the builder?
That's right. We aren't here to fix the boiler. We're here because 4 people, our neighbors, are in the ground. Herb Clutter was a good man, but he was a saint. Those kids had their whole lives ahead of them. We don't give them the death penalty. What is the law even for?
The law is for justice, not just for revenge. If we hang a man who is clearly mentally broken, are we any better than they were? Dick was the head, the brain. Sure, but Perry was just a weapon for us to weapon.
A weapon that says, I'm sorry after fire is still a weapon. They had 5 years to think about it. They had a fair trial, they had lawyers, they had a jury of 12 men. If we let them live, we're telling every criminal in Kansas that if you have a sad enough story, you can get away with murder.
I'm not saying let them go. I'm saying let them rot in a cell where they can be studied. Where we can learn this will happen so it doesn't happen again. Hanging them just buries the why with the who. Is that fair next to the family that might get hurt?
The why does not bring the Clutters back. The rope is the only thing that law has left for people who do what they did. Now, are you going to sign the verdict, or are we going to stay in this room until the sun comes out? Yeah.
En un Ferrari negro calvo, por arriba pegó de la cara de la piel pura, barbarío. Your Honor, the facts are cold. 4 people are dead. The defendants admitted that they did $40. This wasn't a tragedy of circumstances. It was a choice of cruelty. Fairness demands that we don't let a killer childhood outweigh a victim's right to justice.
Justice isn't just about the punishment, it's about truth. The truth here is that Perry Smith is a man with a shattered mind. If we refuse to hear the psychiatric evidence, this isn't a trial. It's an assembly line for the gallows. It is fair to hang a man for being broken.
Enough! Counsel, the law is a philosophy class. My duty is to the Kansas statutes. When we use the maximum rule, if the defendants knew that the murder was the crime, they are legally responsible. I cannot allow feelings to rewrite the law of this state.
Exactly. Ethics starts with the law. The community of Holcomb cannot heal while this man lives. The death penalty is the only fair price for the Clover's lives.
But Your Honor, the death penalty is an ethical failure. We are teaching that killing is wrong by killing people. We're killing Perry Smith to feel better about a society that failed him from the day he was born. That's not ethics, that's a cover-up.
The ethics of this court are based on accountability. Every man, regardless of his past, must answer for his hands. Perry Smith used his hands to take lives. Dick Hickle used his mind to plan it. The court cannot forgive the murder that passed. After weighing the arguments, the court finds the trial was conducted according to the law. The defendants were provided counsel. They were heard by a jury, and they were judged by the rules of 1960.
But was it fair?
It was legal. Whether it was fair is a discussion for history and for Mr. Capote readers. My verdict stands: death by hanging.